If you think you know it all, you are a fool for sure. Real survivors learn wisdom from others. That's the word of God. That is Proverbs 28:26 from the Message translation. And this morning, it hit me right between my eyes during my devotion time. Welcome back. It is time for our Proverbs 28 check-in. Can you believe it? We are officially 3 days away from finishing what we started. If you are new here, I am Dr. Autumn Fair. I am our Chief Faith Officer with Lynn Squared Consulting, and I am walking hundreds of women through the book of Proverbs as we just wander and work through the wisdom strategy. If you have been riding with us through the entire journey, do me a quick favor, hit the subscribe button, hit the follow button, smash the like button, and let me know in the comments that you are still here, that you are still showing up, that you are committed to finishing strong. As we prepare to dive into Proverbs 28 today, I want you to pay close attention to the contrast. As we walk through the word, I want you to compare these things. I want you to look at hiding versus walking honestly. I want you to examine fear versus boldness. You need to take a close examination, a close look at greed versus generosity, and finally, foolishness versus wisdom. I want us to go ahead and prepare. We're going to read through the word together this morning. Today, I am reading from the New King James Version for Proverbs 28. And the word of God says, "The wicked flee when no one pursues, but the righteous are bold as a lion. Because of the transgression of the land, many are in its princes. But by a man of understanding and knowledge, right will be prolonged. A poor man who oppresses the poor is like a driving rain, which leaves no food. Those who forsake the law praise the wicked, but such as keep the law contend with them. Evil men do not understand justice, but those who seek the Lord understand all. Better is the poor who walks in his integrity than one perverse in his ways, though he is rich. Whoever keeps the law is discerning son, but a companion of gluttons shames his father. One who increases his possessions by usury and extortion gathers it for him who will pity the poor. One who turns away his ear from hearing the law, even his prayer is an abomination. Whoever causes the upright to go astray in an evil way, he himself will fall into his own pit. But the blameless will inherit the good. The rich man is wise in his own eyes, but the poor who has understanding searches him out. When the righteous rejoice, there's great glory, but when the wicked arise, men hide themselves. He who covers his sin will not prosper, but whoever confesses and forsakes them will have mercy. Happy is the man who is always reverent, but he who hardens his heart will fall into calamity. Like a roaring lion and a charging bear is a wicked ruler over poor people. A ruler who lacks understanding is a great oppressor, but he who hates covetousness will prolong his days. A man burdened with bloodshed will flee into a pit. Let no one help him. Whoever walks blamelessly will be saved, but he who is perverse in his ways will suddenly fall. He who tilts his land will have plenty of bread, but he who follows frivolously will have poverty enough. A faithful man will abound with blessings, but he who hastens to be rich will not go unpunished. To show partiality is not good, because for a piece of bread a man will transgress. A man with an evil eye hastens after riches and does not consider that poverty will come upon him, but he who rebukes a man will find more favor afterward than he who flatters with his tongue. Whoever robs his father or his mother says, "It is no transgression." The same is companion to the destroyer. He who is of a proud heart stirs up strife, but he who trusts in the Lord will be prosperous. He who trusts in his own heart is a fool, but whoever walks wisely will be delivered. He who gives to the poor will not lack, but he who hides his eyes will have many curses. The final verse says, when the wicked arise, men hide themselves, but when they perish, the righteous increase. That has been a reading of the word from Proverbs 28 today. So let's dive right into it. As you paid attention, I wanted you to look at the parallel, the contrasting between hiding and walking honestly, between the fear and the boldness, the greed and the generosity, and then finally foolishness and wisdom. And so if there's one overarching lesson, if there's one overriding lesson in this chapter, it is simply this. What you refuse to confront will continue to control you. Look at Proverbs 28 and 13. It says, he who covers his sin will not prosper, but whoever confesses and forsakes them will have mercy. It tells us that the person who conceals wrongdoing will not prosper, hiding it, but the one who confesses it and turns away from it will receive mercy. So I need you to listen to me today. This is a powerful invitation to stop hiding from the areas that require total honesty. You cannot heal what you keep pretending doesn't hurt. You cannot correct what you refuse to acknowledge, and you cannot grow while protecting habits, toxic relationships, or even bad decisions that God has called for you to release. I need you to remember this today. Accountability is not condemnation. It is a doorway to transformation. It's not a hindrance, it is a help. As we shift, we want to take a look and be reminded that Proverbs 28 also reminds us that as women of God, we don't have to live timidly. We don't. Timidity does not guide us. We don't have to operate in fear. Verse 1. Verse 1. Lay the foundation. It says the righteous are as bold as a lion. When you think about a lion, you do not think about somebody that is scared, something that is afraid or hides itself. It's about boldness. It's not about being loud or abrasive. It's about courage to obey what God says, even when it's uncomfortable. Boldness looks like telling the truth. It looks like making decisions that are difficult. Boldness is the establishing of boundary, the correcting of mistakes, and moving forward with unshakable integrity and faith. Here's my call to action for you today. Here is the work. Here's what you need to settle in your spirit. As you read Proverbs 28 today, ask yourself one question. And the question should be, where is God calling me to be more honest, more courageous, and more obedient? That is your assignment. That is the actionable work. It is to dig deep within today. Where is God calling me to be more honest, more courageous, and more obedient? Drop your answer in the comments below. Let us know what's the one thing God is saying to you through Proverbs today. I want to read your thoughts. I want to see that you're still committed. We only have 3 days to go. And I'll see you right back here tomorrow as we get ready to close this thing out. We'll have our next daily check-in. I am so proud of you for continuing to show up, for sticking to what you said you would do this time, for seeing it through to completion. Anytime you partner with me, the objective is to finish what we start, to do what we say we are going to do with a God-guided plan. As always, I am praying for you to win at both life and business. By faith with God, I am Dr. Autumn Fair, and I will see you tomorrow.